I'm back! Gabagoya! Finally got past that goddamn losing streak. About time. About fucking time. Now, I just want to point out that I finally got over it once I switched my beer in this video to Michelob Golden Light instead of the Bud Light that I normally have. And that was in my video, and then I won. By quite a bit, I might add. Therefore, I gotta keep a good thing going. You gotta have that state of mind. I don't know if it's the beer, I don't know if it's the goatee. Either way, they're both staying until I lose again. But besides the Michelob and the goatee, the only other thing I can give this win to is the new iPhone that I got. Because statistics show that iPhone users get laid more. What they didn't look into is if iPhone users win on fantasy more. And I'm betting it happens. So fuck off. Alright? Moving on. My matchup with the Chicken Heads Travis. Holy shit. I don't know if you guys watched that Cowboys game, but Romo, first 13 passes completed. 2 for like 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. In the first 13 passes he threw. Just killing it on Sunday. 2 of those touchdowns, by the way, to Laurent Robinson. I told you motherfuckers that with Miles Austin hurt, he's going to pick up the slack and just dominate. And what did he do? He dominated. Moving on to Reggie Bush, who is just popping out of the woodwork. Just hosing bitches. I don't know if that analogy had anything to do with anything. It didn't really make sense. I used it. Going to Chicago defense. I only watched part of the game, so I don't really know much about that situation, but it looks like they did work. Yeah. Moving on to back to the league. I just had to talk about my matchup last week, and then I'll move on to the next week's matchups. Me going against Austin, aka Kegel the Elf, and according to the projections right now, it's going to be a 1-point difference. Now we all know that's not going to happen, but it's only got Mike Vick projected 20 points, alright? Which normally wouldn't sound right, but according to Adam Schefter, Vick's got broken ribs. So that could severely hurt Zato if he's out on Sunday. And Des Bryant always puts up good work, so that makes sense. Zato also threw McFadden back in. I see that. So we'll see what's going on there next week. Moving on to the rest of the league next week, we got Dustin versus Nolan. That's going to be an easy win for Dustin. I really wish that motherfucker would switch his lineup when he's facing somebody other than me. Fucking ridiculous. Moving on. Dave playing the foot jobs. Derek versus the hand jobs. Cholo versus the Hackas. And John Krause versus the Chicken Heads. Now, I'm going to go back here to Keller versus Brad next week. Breeze is out on a bye. That's going to punch Brad in the mouth. Because he's been putting up constant 200-point games. Not Breeze, Brad. But with Breeze out, that's gonna severely drop that. And he's going to probably, I don't think he'll be able to stand up there with Keller when he's doesn't have Breeze. And now that I've talked about most of that shit, moving on to the general league. Now, of course, I wanted a fucking high point payout when I get the high points, because that's never going to happen again. You know what I mean? I mean, I wish we gave that, because then I would actually have a fucking chance at winning it now that happened. So, of course I want it when I get it. That's... Duh. Moving on. I would really enjoy Kraus and Brad losing this week. Because if Kraus loses, which, if Travis's team would put up the numbers it's supposed to, he's got a good lineup. You know what I mean? I mean, if he put up the numbers he's supposed to, he'd kill Kraus. It's just something always fucking goes wrong with Travis's team that just shoots him down every week. Going back to the Hackers, I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off against Keller. So if both of those things happen, I'm going to jump, and I beat Zato, of course. I'm going to jump up to 4th place there. I'd love for that to happen. And if I beat Zato, not only will I jump up to 4th place, but I'm only 1 win out from tying Zato. And, well, I'm 1 win and 1 loss from him, and we're even. So I would love for those 3 things to happen this week. You know what I mean? And, can't have porn in the house. My lineup sucks. I need some material. I finally got that, by the way, Zato. I finally watched it. I was confused when you texted it to me because I hadn't watched the league yet. I was like, that makes no sense. That's awkward. Is he gay now? I didn't know if you turned gay or something, but now I get it, and it's funny as hell. Yabagoya. I'm actually kind of thinking about switching my name over to password is Jake. Little password is taco reference. Oh shit. Anyway, there's really nothing to talk about besides my blowout. Dustin already covered this week. I basically covered next week. And my predictions this week is going to be a close matchup between me and Zato, but of course I'm going to vote for myself just because it's me. Dustin versus Nolan. Obviously, Dustin's going to blow his ass out the water. Derek versus Foot Jobs. I'm going to give this one to Dave versus Foot Jobs. I'm going to give this one to Dave. Bone Crushers versus Hand Jobs. I'm going to give that one to Derek. Cholos versus the Hackers. I'm going to give it to Cholos just because Breeze is out. And Kraus versus Chicken Heads. I'm going to give it to Kraus just because something always goes wrong with Travis's team. So, there is my predictions. And we'll see what happens. The Bob Man using his Equip Monk out of here.